Hello and welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I realised as I was about to turn on the webcam that I had the wrong glasses on. I have now got the right glasses on and I'm going to be attempting what is apparently a very hard puzzle today. So I'm starting this hopefully early enough that if I fail to solve it, I'll be able to move on to another puzzle and still get a video out by 8:30. This puzzle on the screen it's called Onion, and it's by the Cogito. And I've been meaning to have a go at this one for a while, really to thank the Cogito and in admiration of the Cogito's incredible sudoku output. I just had a look on Logic Masters Germany at the Cogito's sort of last 20 puzzles, and they are all just incredibly well received, and it has to be said, incredibly difficult. The normal rating for a Cogito puzzle, or the Cogito puzzles, is 5 stars out of 5. Now this one's been recommended to us a lot and requested from people who've had a look at it and haven't been able to crack it. So it's always a bit of a risk when I try these, because it can lead to sort of an hour and a half of me just staring at the grid, not knowing what to do. But the other thing to mention about the Cogito is that I have solved this puzzle by the Cogito, COASTER NURIKABE, which is an amazing puzzle. It's an amazing, it's an astonishing construction. You can see the sort of just question marks for the clues, and you end up having to draw a loop in the grid according to some rules, and Sudoku plays a part, of course. And this takes 2.5 hours, and it's available over on Patreon at the moment. But I thought that the Cogito might appreciate it if I was able to solve one of their puzzles on the channel, on the main channel as well. So this is why I'm going to try Onion. The rule set's really short, to be honest. There's not much complexity to the rules, but there might be complexity to the solve. Anyway, we'll have a look at this in a moment or two's time. What else do I have to tell you on this Friday the 12th, not Friday the 13th. I couldn't attempt this puzzle on Friday the 13th. That would be asking for trouble. Few things. There's a crossword video on the channel. I recorded the usual Friday masterclass this morning. A very, very interesting puzzle today from the Times. A lot of very obscure vocabulary, so quite a challenge, but very good. Mark has relented and agreed we can stream Hexcells, so we're going to try a game called Hexcells on stream soon. We still have to agree the date though, but it won't be long. And apart from that, what else can I tell you? I don't think there's much. I'm going to wish some people some happy birthdays. I'm going to start with David down there in New Zealand. And David, I know it's your birthday today because your daughter Emily, who I think is living in Australia at the moment, wrote to us and said that you might appreciate a shout out. So I know that the two of you do watch the channel and try the puzzles. So David, many happy returns. I guess you might get this a day late because of the time difference, but I hope it still means something. Oh, and another Antipodean birthday, Katie. Katie down there in Perth has turned 31 today, and I know this because your fiance Zach wrote to us. And Katie, I know you're doing a PhD in renewable engineering, and that you are a big fan of the channel as well. Well, thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best with your PhD. And I hope today is a day full of enormous amounts of chocolate cake with proper amounts of icing, of course. And then we go over to Germany, where Christian has turned 40 today. Many happy returns on the big 4-0. I know this because your wife Martha and daughter Paula wrote to us. And you're having something called a Danube wave cake with extra chocolate icing on it. Now, I did not know what a Danube wave cake was, so I snipped it from the internet. That's not the snip I was looking for. That is a snip that I just sent Mark. About a new series starring David Mitchell. I haven't got a picture of the cake now, I'm afraid, but I thought it sounded interesting and almost like the writers might watch a bit of Cracking the Cryptic. There's somebody called Ludvig is starting to set cryptic crosswords. Anyway, that's a by the by. So I don't have a picture of Danube wave cake, but it looks quite nice, especially if it was topped mostly with the same amount of icing as the cake. Christian, happy birthday. And then finally a shout out to Esteban, who got his books, his Cracking the Cryptic's Greatest Hits Volume 2 over there in California recently and has sent us a number of kind emails in recent days. So Esteban, we really do appreciate getting emails like that. Thank you very much. And I wanted to shout you out to say thank you. Now, I can put it off no longer. Let us turn our attention to Onion by the Cogito, and I will read you the rules. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. A digit in a circled cell indicates the total number of times that digit appears in circled cells in the grid. Well, this is a rule set that I've come to know and love. So what does that mean? It means if that square contains a 5, then there must be 5 5s in circles. That's how it works. Exactly 5 5s in circles as well. So it's not a minimum of 5 5s, it's exactly 5 5s. Lines connecting circled cells are between lines. Digits on a between line must be strictly between the digits on that line's circled endpoints. I might actually change the wording there, because although I know what that means, I've often thought it's quite funny that the word between is used to describe. And obviously, for example, if we look at these cells, these two are sort of between these two in a geometric sense. But what it means is that the values of these two cells have to be between the values of these squares. So if this square was a 7, let's make it easy, 6 5. So if these were 4 and 7, this would have to be a 5 6 pair, because these digits would have to have values between the values in the endpoints on the end of the line. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So there are two things there are 3 things I'm going to mention first about this grid. I'll start off quickly with a secret I know about between lines, which may well not be relevant. I'm sure this is going to be about the circles to start with. But the between line trick is you can never put 1s and 9s on between lines. And that's because if you do put a 1 on the between line, one of these digits has to be below 1 in order to sort of frame it, because these have to sandwich the values along the line, and we can't put 0 or negative numbers into the edges of the between lines, or into the circles. So you can't put 1, you can't put 9 for the same reason, because 1 would have to be at least 10, one of the circles. So that's my secret to between lines, which 1 2 3 4. No, it's just not. I just don't think that's where we start. Second secret is to do with the circles, where always the way we start these circles puzzles is we should be counting how many circles we've got in the grid. Actually, so let's do it slowly. 6, 9, 10, 13, 17, 19, 23, 27, 30, 36 circles altogether. Okay, so that is... I feel like I've had 36 circles in one of these puzzles before. So 36 is an interesting number in the context of the secret. Now, to understand what I mean there, I have to tell you the secret. Now, if you're still watching the video, you definitely deserve to know the secret of Sudoku. Of course I'm going to share it with you. I share it with all my favourite people. But just don't tell anybody. The secret of Sudoku is that the digits in Sudoku, or any row, column or box of a Sudoku, because of the rules of Sudoku, contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. If you add up those digits, you get 45. So now what we should do is to consider what is the maximum number of circles that could be, theoretically, in a Sudoku puzzle. Well, imagine one of these circles was a 9. That would tell us there were 9 circles with 9 in them. If one was an 8, there would be 8 circles with 8 in them, etc., etc. So the maximum number of circles that can appear in a Sudoku puzzle would be 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6, etc., etc., down to 1. And we know that adds up to 45. So here we've got 36 circles, which means there must be digits not in circles that sum to 9. The difference between 45 and 36. Now, that is an extremely irritating total. Because 9, well, 9 could be just there are no 9s in circles. And then we would know that every single other digit had to appear in a circle, which would mean there would be 8 8s, 7 7s, 6 6s, 5 5s. I feel like I'm singing the 12 Days of Christmas. But that's how the circles would work if there's no 9. But we could have 2 digits missing from circles that add up to 9. You could have 4 and 5 missing. Let's just think about that for a second. So if you had a 4 and 5 missing from circles, actually that's far, that's okay, it's not actually, well, I mean, I can see there's this sort of weird pattern in the grid where the circles seem to occupy the most cells in this row, sorry, in that column, that row, that row, that column, that column. There's a sort of lattice in the grid there. So if 4 and 5 are not in circles, 4 and 5 would have to be in the sort of gaps in the lattice, wouldn't they, in these rows and columns. So they would be in those squares, in those rows and columns, which creates 2 swordfish. That's interesting as a thought. Anyway, let me just, I'm going to think about this more, but the other thing I was going to say is that the digits that are missing from circles don't have to be 2 digits, it could be 3 digits missing from circles, because you can make 3 different Sudoku digits add up to 9, 1 2 6, 1 3 5, or 2 3 4. We couldn't miss 4 digits from circles, because the minimum we could miss out from circles would be a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. And those digits would add up to 10, which is knowledge bomb more than 9. So we now know. So we know that either the circles are missing a single 9. I'm just going to start there, actually. Let me just think about what that means, in case that's easy to rule out. So if we're missing a single 9, every 9 in this grid has to be uncircled. And oh yeah, let me just explain what I mean by swordfish as well. So whatever digits are not in the circles, you can see that they form this regularly occurring pattern in columns 1, 5 and 9. And these yellow squares in those columns form something called a swordfish pattern, which is sort of the extra. You may have heard of an X-wing pattern in Sudoku. Well, an X-wing would be just these 4 cells, for example. That's an X-wing. A swordfish is just another dimension of sort of digitage. And the way to understand, so let's say it is 9. Let's say that the 9 is not in any circles. Well, then we know that the 9 in column 1 is in one of the yellow squares. The 9 in column 5 is in one of the yellow squares. And the 9 in column 9, is in one of the yellow squares. And that has a restriction that then applies to the rows. So when you find the swordfish in the columns, the effect of that swordfish is in the rows. And that's something a lot of people don't understand. How can we understand? How can we understand the effect of the swordfish? Well, we have to ask very simple questions. And the question we're going to ask first is, how many 9s are there if we complete this puzzle correctly in row 1? And hopefully there was a chorus, a future chorus, which I can't really hear, but I can pretend I can, of 1 9. If we complete the puzzle correctly, there's going to be 1 9 in row 1. How many 9s are there going to be in row 5? And the answer is 1 9 in row 5. How many 9s are there going to be in row 9? There's going to be 1 9 in row 9. So we know in the finished puzzle, those 3 rows altogether have 3 9s in them. But how many 9s are in the yellow squares? Well, there would be a 9 in one of those, because the 9s we know are in the yellow squares in column 1. There would be a 9 in one of these in column 5, and there would be a 9 in one of these in column 9. So there are 3 9s in the yellow squares. So going back to our row analysis, therefore, if we know that there are the 3 9s, if we know there are 3 9s in yellow, and we know there are 3 9s in these rows, could you put a 9 here? Could that ever be a 9? Well, clearly no, because that's going to be a 4th 9 in these 3 rows. We know the yellow squares have the 3 9s in them that correspond with these 3 rows of the puzzle, so we can't add more 9s in. So you couldn't have any 9s in any of those cells. Now, the thing that's making me wonder about is whether the trick is to do with this row, because that's where I can see the main effect of the swordfish operating. If you have a swordfish on 9s, we're saying that these squares, and the swordfish results from the fact that we're not putting 9s in circles, then obviously we can't put 9s in these anyway. So the main benefit we seem to earn from identifying the swordfish is in row 5, where the 9 would have to occupy. Well, then the 9 wouldn't be in the circles, because that's how we got to this position. So the 9 would be in one of 4 positions that don't look very propitious at all. So that's very annoying. I was wondering if I could use that logic to rule out a three cells or 3 digits being missed out of the circles, because that logic, if say 1, 3 and 5 were missing from the circles, then by this swordfish logic there would be a swordfish on 1s, a swordfish on 3s and a swordfish on 5s, and then in this row we know that the 1, 3 and the 5 would have to squeeze into those squares, but they can, because there are 4 such squares and only 3 digits to put in them. So this is wrong. Well, it's not wrong, but it's not helping me. So it's not the swordfish. And that means, I don't know what that means. I'm just trying to fill time, or fill airspace while my brain thinks of something to do. So I can't use the swordfish pattern to rule out I'm sorry. Hang on a minute. Let me think about this. So what is it then? What is it we're saying? So how does this work? Sorry, I haven't got anything. I am very apologetic. My brain is not telling me how to think about this properly at all. I just hit a total brick wall. Is this the onion shape? Is that what this onion, the title, is referring to? This sort of funny pattern of 3 circles, 3 circles, 3 circles. So if I'm now trying to turn it round, I'm trying to think about what would happen if you had if you have 1, 3 and 5, say, in the gaps, and you generate loads of swordfishes. Oh, right, that doesn't work. Ah, okay, so I've got one deduction. One deduction. No, I've got two. I've got some deductions. Right. I don't think... Oh, phone is buzzing. That's fine. Right, I don't think that there are 3 digits missing from the circles. Now, I'm very sure that that's true for 2, 3, 4. Because if we were saying that 2, 3 and 4 are missing from the circles, the point is not really about the 2, 3, 4. We know that if 2, 3, 4 are missing, they form this pattern in the grid because they can't appear in circles. But now I've got far too many 1s in circles. The point is not about the 2, 3, 4. It's about the other digits that are not in the swordfish pattern. And you can see now that 1 in column 1 would be in a circle. So there could be no other 1s in circles in the grid, but there would clearly be a 1 in column 5 in a circle. So this doesn't work, and I don't think it'll work even remotely for... No, it doesn't work. I mean, if it's 1, 2, 6 into the yellow cells, then let's take the digit 3. That can appear in 3 circles. Well, it's going to be in a circle in column 1, a circle in column 5, a circle in column 9, a circle in row 1 and a circle in row 9. So that's 5 3s in circles already, and that's illegal. So the only other one, I don't think this is going to work either, is no, 1, 3, 5 doesn't work because 2 can't be dealt with. 2 is going to be in all sorts of circles, and it's not meant to be. Okay, so that's good. Right, so what we actually need to focus on then is the digits that are... It's not necessarily the digits that add up to 9 that don't appear in circles, digit or digits. It's the other digits as well. The other low digits which are not allowed to appear in lots and lots of circles. Right. Right. So what does that mean? So let's say we try and do it with 2 cells then. Let's try and say we argue that 1 and 8 are the digits that appear in no circles. How do we do that? If 1 and 8 appear in no circles, well, we do have swordfishes on 1s and 8s because we'd have 1s and 8s occupying these positions in these columns. But then the other digits, yeah, this gets horribly complicated actually, because then so there would be 3 1s and 3 8s in yellow. 3 1s and 3 8s in yellow. So I've still got 3 yellow cells that I can fill with other digits. So what do I do with 2s then? I could put 2s. I could put 2s. I can put 2 2s in circles, but only 2. And I could put up to 3 2s in yellow. I still feel that's very difficult to do. If I put 3 2s in yellow, then I can do that, and then I've got swordfishes on everything, 1s, 2s and 8s. But that gives me the problem with 3s again. So I can't do that. That just doesn't work because now I've got 5 3s in circles. So I can't put 3 2s in. So how many 2s? What's the minimum number of 2s that we can put in circles. Or no, that we can put in yellow. Because we need to put some 2s in yellow. Otherwise we've got immense problems. We've got 5 2s in circles. So, okay, yeah, so I've got to deal with the fact I can have 2 2s in circles. So whatever I put in yellow has to stop me putting at least 3 2s in circles. Right, so if I was to put a 2 there, what effect does that have on my total, on this, this whole rigmarole? If I put a 2 here, that means, let's just put 2 there. If this is 2, I've used up one of my yellow cells with a 2. So I've only got 2 spare yellow cells now. I don't have to put a 2 in a circle in this row. I don't have to put a 2 in a circle in this column. But I've still got a problem here, here, and here. I've still got 3 problems. Oh, so I need another 2. That's interesting. Okay. Right, what I'm seeing there, let me just make this a different colour. I'll make this red. So even if I put a 2 in the corner, which is really efficient because it stops me having to put a 2 in row 1 and it stops me having to put a 2 in column 1, I still have the problem that I need another 2 in a yellow cell. Because if I don't have one, if this is the only 2 in yellow, then I'm going to end up with a 2 in column 5, I'm going to end up with a 2 in row 9, and I'm going to end up with a 2 in column 9, and I'm going to have 3 2s in circles. So I have to put another 2 in. I could put a 2 there, and that would get rid of my red highlighting here and here. And leave me, I'd still have, okay, so now that's fine now. I've got 1 2 in a circle there. I could have other 2s in circles anywhere else, but I do have to have a second 2 in a circle. So if I have 1 and 8, I have to have 2 2s. So I've got 3 1s in yellow, 3 8s in yellow, 2 2s. Now what do I do with 3s now? 3s are also difficult. They have the same problem as 2s. There's sort of 5 sudoku units that we're trying to deal with here. There's row 1, row 9, column 1, column 5, and column 9. So if I don't have a 3 in yellow, I've got 5 3s in circles. So I've got, so I could put a 3 there, couldn't I? If I put a 3 there, let's make it a 3. That takes out this one, and I could have 3 3s, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So I only have to have 1 3 in yellow, but I do have to have 1 3 in yellow at least in this paradigm where I've put 1 and 8 in here. And 4, I still have to have a 4 as well. I can't have a 4 because I had to have 2 2s. Yeah, okay, so I might be able to disprove 1 8 actually, because if I have 1 and 8 in the gaps in the yellow, I've got 3 1s, 3 8s, 2 2s, a 3, but the 4 has the same problem as 2s and 3s, which is that if I don't put a 4 in yellow, row 1 has a circled 4, row 9 has a circle 4, column 1 has a circle 4, column 5 has a circle 4, and column 9 has a circle 4. And that is too many 4s, because there are 5 4s in circles then. Right, so what we actually need to do here does this generalize? If it wasn't 1 8, if it was 2 7 in the circles rather than 1 8, what's that doing? Then we've got 3 2s and 3 7s in the circles. That must be right, mustn't it? It must be right. That is right. That's definitely right. So I've used up 6 of my digits again. Now what's the situation with 1? 1's horrible. 1's horrible to deal with. It's worse than 2, isn't it? Because 1... Oh, that's really interesting. Sorry, and I realise... Okay, so what I'm now wondering about... I'm wondering if we can prove that all of the yellow cells... Well, what I'm basically thinking I might be able to prove is that we can never have 2 digits adding up to... We can never have the digits that are not in circles being 2 digits that add up to 9, is what I'm thinking I might be able to prove. Because... This is very hard to articulate, but I think it's to do with how many digits full stop, how many low digits full stop we've got to put into the circle. So it might be easier if I'm going to shade these different colours, I think, just so that we can see. Make this one blue and this one can be red or something. Yeah, is that sensible? Maybe I'll make that one not orange, because that's orange is quite a difficult... Oh, whoopsie. Orange is quite a difficult colour for me to see against the yellow. They all seem very different from the yellow. But the point is that each of these sets of colours the way to think about it is each of these sets of colours is a problem if a digit is not in yellow. So if a digit is not in yellow at all, there are automatically 5 of that digit in circles, whatever you do. There may be more than 5, because these could all be circled as digits as well. But if you try and claim that a digit is not in yellow anywhere in the puzzle, you automatically achieve a count of 5 circles for that. Now, okay, so maybe this is how we can think about this. So now we can immediately see that 4 must be in a yellow cell, whether or not it forms part of the panoply of digits that add up to 9 in this puzzle that don't appear in any circles. And that's because if 4 was not in a yellow cell, there would automatically be 5 4s in circles, which cannot be true. So 1 4 at least is in yellow. Yeah, and it only has to be 1 4, doesn't it? Because it's fine to have 4 4s in the coloured cells. So if we put a 4 there, in the middle of the grid, we remove the ability of we remove the necessity of having a 4 in blue. But we absolutely now could have a 4 in all the other colours without breaking the rules of the puzzle. So you only actually have to have 1 4 in yellow as a minimum. There may be more 4s, but there must be 1 4. Now 3, if you put 3, well, hang on, the thing is it's different. If you put, yeah, it is different. If you put the 4 there, you're taking away 1 colour. If you put the 3 there or the 4 there, you're taking away 2 colours from having to be 3s or 4s. So for 3, we know that we could have 3 colours with 3s in them as a maximum. We can't have 5, so we have to put... you don't get any increase in efficiency then, because I could put a 4 there, and that has the same effect as putting a 3 there. Because if I put a 3 there, I take away the necessity for 2 colours to have 3s. But now I could put a 3 in green, a 3 in grey, and a 3 in red, and I wouldn't break the rules of the puzzle. So I only need to have 1 4 and 1 3 in the yellow cells as a minimum. Now 2s I think are going to be more constrained, because if we put, even if we put 2 at a junction, if we put 2 at a junction, then I've still got the problem. That's not enough. Yeah, this is what we discovered before. It's not enough. That was not enough. For I was hungry and ye fed me not. I recall the God of history, and Sorry, I was thinking about a speech I'd heard by Martin Luther King. I can hear the God of history say that was not enough. For I was hungry and ye fed me not. I can't quite remember it. It's something about... It was very powerful. Anyway, sorry. If this is a 2... Yeah, if this is a 2, there's no 2 in purple, no 2 in blue. And that's great. But I still got to put 3 2s in the puzzle if I don't put any more 2s in yellow, because I've still got to deal with green, grey and red. But I could easily I could just add that one. And that. So I have to have 2 2s, but I don't have to have more than 2 2s. 2 2s is the minimum. So I've got to have 1 4, 1 3, 2 2s. Now what does 1 do? Do we need 3 1s always or not? I could put 1 1 in a colour. Nah, bobbins, that's very annoying. Okay, so we can get away, I think, with two 1s. Let's double check that I agree with my brain, where my brain got to there. Again, if I don't put a 1 in yellow, I've got 5 1s in the puzzle, so I have to reduce that count. I could put 1 1. Well, that's very efficient. That's very efficient, because that gets rid of green and grey. This has got rid of purple and blue, and then I could put 1 1 in red. Bobbins. So you can get away with 2 1s. So the minimum number of low digits you've got in yellow is 2 1s, 2 2s, a 3 and a 4, which is 6 of the yellows already gone. Which... So what does that mean? So but we know, right, hang on. Six of the yellows have to be hypothecated. A minimum of 6 yellows have to be hypothecated to low digits, irrespective of what digits are missing from all of the circles in this puzzle. Well, now what I'm just trying to get my head around is it true to say... Is it true to say that from the digits 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9... It is true to say, yeah, one of those digits, in fact exactly, here's an interesting thought, exactly one of those digits is missing from the circles. Because it can't be 2 of those digits, otherwise the total of the circles couldn't be 36. So it's exactly one of the digits 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 is missing from the circles. And it could just be a solitary 9 missing. Or it could be a 5 and a 4, how does that work then? Let's just think about that. If it's 5 and 4 missing from circles, yeah, then 3 5s have to occupy the yellow cells, don't they? For these columns, you've got to put 3 5s into the yellow, but we've already hypothecated 6 of the low digits. so the other 3 are taken by 5s. But what's going on with the 4 there? The 4 doesn't feel like... No, it doesn't. That doesn't work at all. It doesn't work. 5... It doesn't work because not of the 5s can work, but the 4s don't work. Because when we got to the count of low digits, so when we were thinking about what had to be in the yellow squares from the low digits perspective, we said there only needs to be 1 4, because we could have 1 4 here, and then we could have 4 4s in circles. But if we change that criteria and say no 4s in circles, well, that's a totally different thing altogether, because now I've got to put into yellow at least 3 4s. And that's nowhere near the count then, because I've got to have 3 4s, 3 5s, at least 2 1s, at least 2 2s, and a 3. And that's very many more than 9, which is the number of cells available. So 5 4 definitely doesn't work. In fact, 8 1 is going to be the closest to working, and that didn't work. So I think we're now virtually proved that it has to be 9 that is not the digit in yellow here. But I'm just going to try 2 and 7 just so that I can iterate the logic and get it clear in my head. So if we're saying that 2 and 7 are not circled anywhere, then we're saying that there must be 3 2s in these squares, there must be 3 7s in these squares. That's 6 of the circles, 6 of the yellow squares dealt with already. I've got 3 spare, but I've still got to think about 1, for example, where we know at least 2 1s have to be in yellow. So now I've got 8 digits used up. God, it's close actually, isn't it? It's much closer than I realised, because now 3, well, we know we can't put... We know we need at least 1 3 in a circle. Otherwise, we've got 5 3s in circle, 5 3s in colours, and that's all my digits now. So with the 2 7 version, I've got 3 2s, 3 7s, 2 1s, a 3. What do I do with 4? I still need to put a 4 in a circle. I've got no circles. Sorry, I need to put 4 in a yellow cell. Otherwise, I've got 5 4s in circles, and I can't put 4 in a yellow cell because I've got no yellow cells free. Whoa! All right, so 2 7 doesn't work. Let's quickly do 3 6. So 3 6, we'll put 3 3s, 3 6s. That's 6 digits. So I've got 3 digits spare. No, that doesn't work. 2 1s have to be in circle. Have to be in yellow. 2 2s have to be in yellow. I'm up to 10 already. So 3 and 6 is terrible. Now 1 8. Let's try and do 1 8 with the new principle. So 1 8. So 1 8 is going to require 3 1s in yellow, 3 8s in yellow. That's 6. But we know there must be 2 2s in yellow. So that's 8 digits. There must be 1 3 in yellow. That's 9 digits. There must be 1 4 in yellow. That's 10 digits. Doesn't work. Right. So it's 9. This has been a very long-winded way of me getting to probably a point that some of you have got to almost instantly, but that I think that there is no 9. There's no 9. Say it over and over again in the hope that my brain understands it. Oh, well, yeah, okay, it does. My brain does understand it. Now that might be a silly thing for me to say. But now, because 9 is not allowed to be in a circle anywhere in the puzzle, 3 yellows must be 9s, mustn't they? Because, well, in this column, and this column. So now I've got all my yellows. They're 9s. They're definitely 9s. They're 2 1s. I don't know how to pencil mark this. They're 2 1s, 2 2s, a 3 and a 4. And that's the 6 other yellow cells. Right. We said at the start we can't put 1 and 9 on between lines, so those are not 1s or 9s. Ah, what does that mean? Oh, bobbins, I don't know. I've got a lot of difficulty believing that this square is a 1 or a 2. Because this square is only dealing with one colour. So yeah, let's just think about that. If this was a 1, there's one more 1 allowed in yellow now, because we've used one of our 1s. So let's put that one there. That's sufficient. That's getting rid of 2 colours for 1s. This is getting rid of 1 colour for 1. But now I've got to put a 1 in green and a 1 in grey, and that's going to break the world. Yeah, okay. So you can't put in the middle of the puzzle a digit that needs to cater for sort of 2 colours. 2 of the, not the yellow colour, but 2 of the other colours. That's not going to work. So this is not 1 or 2 for that reason. Now, if this was 3... No, I don't think it's 3 either for the same reason. The 3, remember what the 3 needed to do in terms of the coloured cells that are not yellow. There are 5 different types of colour in the puzzle. And we've allowed ourselves 1, 3 in yellow on the basis that that takes out 2 colours. So if we put 3 in the corner here, I'm not going to put it in big because it will give me confetti I don't earn. But if that's a 3, that takes out purple and out green from needing to have a 3 in them. But it's the only 3 we're allowed in yellow, so we'd have 3 in grey, 3 in blue, and 3 in red, and that would work. That would work. But imagine that we put 3 here. If this was 3, that's the only 3 I'm allowed in yellow, but I've only removed 1 colour, so I've still got 4 colours that have to have 3 in them, and there can't be 4 3s in the colours. So this is not 3, but 4 will be okay. So this is 4 or 9. That's definitely, well, I was about to say that's definitely not 1. I don't know what it is, but it might be a 1. Where? Okay, let me change tack altogether. Where is 9 in box 9? That's now a good question, because 9 can't go in any circles, and it definitely can't go on between lines, so that's 9. There we go. Digit. 48 minutes into the puzzle. We have digitage. We have arrived at digitage. Right, okay. Oh, this is great. Is it? No. Maybe. It's doing something. Right, where is 1 in box 9? And the answer is I don't know, but it can't be on a between line. So it is in a circle, and that is the only circled 1, therefore, in the puzzle. So that means the other 2 1s that we have to put in yellow have to stop 2 colours each, and that can't be a 1. Have to stop 2 colours each. Yeah, but okay, sorry, these can't be 1s, can they? I think is what I'm seeing as a result of that. And let me explain. If either of these is a 1, let's just put 1 in here. It doesn't matter which one is a 1. The point is now that that is the last 1 I can put in a circle. This is, whichever one of these is a real 1. Now, that means I cannot put a 1 in green, I cannot put a 1 in blue, and I cannot put a 1 in red. How do I achieve those 3 things, given I'm only allowed to put 2 digits, 2 1s in yellow? I mean, I could put 1 here, that would be okay. I could put 1 here, that would be okay. That gets rid of blue and red, but I've still got to put... I now can't put any more 1s in yellow, so green's going to have a 1 in it, but grey's already got a 1 in it. You can't do it. You can't do it. So these are not 1s. One of these is a 1, which means these are not 1s. And, oh, do I need... Yeah, I do. I need a 1 in row 1. Don't I? I do need a row. I need a 1 in row 1 because, I mean, I need a 1 that's not a circled 1 in row 1 because I've got a circled 1 in red down there. So that's a 1. Here we go. So that's a 1. That's taken care of purple and blue. And red's been already, that's where the thing is. So I need a digit that gets rid of 1s in green and grey. So that's in the corner. Isn't this beautiful? Good grief. How do you set this nonsense? I mean, it's just absurd. I think that's, I'd probably say that verbatim in the COASTER NURIKABE video a lot. I mean, I understand how it's possible to solve this, assuming I can, because I can sort of get my head around it once it's presented to me in this form. But to set it in the first place, it is simply fabulous brain power. Now, what do we do now with our new knowledge? Well, okay, I have to put a 9 in this column because I'm not allowed. Yeah, that's a 9. That's easy. That's a 4 now by sudoku. So this is not 4 or 9. This is not 4. Where's the 9 in this column, which can't go in a circle, so it goes there. Where's the 9 in column 9? It goes there. So we've got 2s, 3s and 4s to place. Now, what does that mean in terms of how these rules work? It means that did 4... No, 4 didn't have to be at a junction of colours. And 2 of these are 2. 2 of these are 2s, aren't they? Is that wrong or is that right? There are 2 2s in yellow. So there's got to be 1 2 in one of those, and that's got to be a 2, I think. No, but that's breaking the puzzle. I've made a mistake. That has broken the puzzle. The reason that's broken the puzzle is quite interesting, actually. The reason it's breaking the puzzle is because of the between line. If I put 2 on this between line, I have to put 1 in one of these squares. And I can't by sudoku now. So what on earth have I done wrong there? Everything has felt so reasonable. I'm thinking, I'm trying to understand what I might have done wrong. I'm going to come back. I'm going to think about that middle digit then. Maybe that's a mistake. Well, okay. I'm not... So what the mistake, if there is a mistake, is that I've reduced this too far. I'm very comfortable that 9 has to be here in this column, because there must be a 9 in yellow. That means this is not a 9, and that means that's a 9. And then 9 in this column must be here. So that all feels reasonable. But maybe I've misthought about this central digit then. Could that be a 2? If I put a 2, yeah, that's it. All right. Okay, so here is my mistake. Here is my mistake, I think. If this is a 2, I cater for blue, don't I? Which means I've still got 4 colours left, but I can have 2 2s in colours. So if I did put a 2 then in the corner, it can't go there. For the between line reason, let's just put a 2 here for the sake of argument. If this is a 2 in the corner, now red and grey don't have 2 in them. The 2 in the middle means blue doesn't have a 2 in it, so I could have a 2 in purple and a 2 in green, and that wouldn't break the puzzle. So I think whatever I said earlier about this square not being able to be a 2 was incorrect for reasons that I can't remember, because I can't remember what I said. But that's great in terms of where we are now, because, well, is it great? Well, okay, I'm going to change tack again then. That can't be a 2 because one of these would be a 1. So that's definitely not a 2. That's a 3 or a 4. Well, and now we run the same trick about sudoku units. I know I've got to have 2 2s in yellow. I can only put 1 2 in yellow in column 9. So that is a 2, which means that's not a 2. It means that's a 2. And now I've got a 3 and a 4 left. And I can probably say that one's going to be a 3, which is lovely because it's in the corner. But I think that is logically where it has to be, because we've got 5 colours that can only contain 3 3s. So I have to put into yellow something that stops 2 colours being 3s. And if I put that in, I only stop red having a 3 in it. If I put that in, I stop purple and green. And that will leave me with blue, grey and red to have 3s in. So that is 3. That's 4. And that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. And now, one of these has to be a 2 because it has to frame. The 3. And there is going to be a 2 in green and a 2 in purple, but we don't know where exactly. Now, what else is this saying to us? Well, there has to be a 1 framing the 2 here, and that's not 1. I've got another digit. That's a 1, and 1's been in a circle, so I get a 1 in box 8. Ah, bobbins. 1's in one of 3 places in box 5. 1 can't go in a between line, so 1's in these cells here. 1 can't go in a circle, or because it's been in a circle and it can't go on a between line, so 1's in one of those cells. Not pencil mark 1 in here, but I think it's got 4 places it can go into. Okay, so perhaps 1 wasn't the sensible place to look then. Let's try 9's again. So 9's are in one of those 2 squares. But remember, 9's can't go in any circles. 9 is there. 9 is here. That's nice. That's going to give me a 1 as well. 9, 9, 9. Because it can't go on the between line. So that gives me a 1. That gives me another 1 over here. I've got a 1, 9 pair now in box 6. by hook or by crook. Where is 9 in box, well, row 2? Can't go in a circle, can't be on a between line, so it goes there. So 9 is in one of these 2 squares in box 5. Oh, Maverick's flying past. The celebration of that's not a 1 by dint of the power of... Whoa, where's 1? No. I was about to say where's 1 in column 2. I've already got a 1 in column 2. You idiotic man. 2, 3. I see. So I've got 6 1s and not enough knowledge about 1s in the middle 3 rows. How many 9s have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got a sort of X-swing of 9s left. Oh, that's deeply distressing. Okay. Okay. Here is a simple deduction. 5s must appear in every colour now. So all the 5s have appeared in the circles already, so none of these other circles have 5 in. And that means they are I want to say they're 6, 7 and 8. I'm just going to double check I agree with that. There's 2 2s in purple and green and no more 2s in circles for sure. There are 3 3s in the other colours. 4s, yeah, there's 4 4s in the other colours. Yes, so we can't have any other low numbers in these circles. We can't have 5 in them. So these are from 6, 7 and 8 because they can't include 9. Now, yes, one of them is a 6. Oh, I got it. I've got this straight away. Right, this is a 6, 8 pair just by between line logic. And therefore that's a 7. Oh, actually, that didn't do as much. Well, this leads on to the point that I was about to make, which is that because 5 6s have to be in the colours, in the purples, the reds, the greens, etc. Because there have to be 5 6s there, and there's 1 6 here. That's the final circled 6. So all of these are not circled 6s. These are all 7s and 8s. Now, what does that mean? There are 5 8s and 5 7s in the colours. So that's a 6th 8. So 2 of these, or one of those is an 8. One of these is an 8. So one of these is a 7. 5 6. So there's 1 more 7 and 1 more 8 to find. Right, so these digits here are different. Let's give those colours then to make sure we recognise that. These have to be different numbers. Because in the circles overall there should be 7 7s. And there are 5 7s in the colours in the sort of swordfish pattern. A 6th here. So one of these has to be a 7, but we just said one of those had to be an 8 as well. So this is a 7 8 pair. That might do something to that cell, which now can't be very high. Because it sees 7 and 8. And 1 and 9 and 3 actually. No, it doesn't see 2, does it? Okay, so it is 2... 4, 5 or 6, that's no use. Okay. Can we do... What am I meant to do then? With this newfound knowledge of the world, does this 7 do something? Same is true of this digit, look. That also sees both flavours of 7 and 8, so that's that's a lowish number, 6, 5, 4 or 3. Can't be 2 because of this. But it would be lovely to know what this was, wouldn't it? Well, although that can't be. Oh, what's that digit? This digit's where we should probably have started this. This can't be 1, because it sees 1, 9. It can't be 2. It could be 3, maybe. It can't be 4. 5, 6 it could be, but it can't be 7, 8 or 9. That's 3, 5 or 6. Right, that's not 4. In fact, one of these has to be 3. No, both. Right. I said this couldn't be 4. That is true, because there has to be 2 digits between whatever we put here and whatever we put here. So you can see that 4 doesn't work. But now, how could one of these not be 3? This has to be 3, 4, 5 in the middle here, and a 6 on the other side. So these squares don't include 5. This is a 4, 5 pair. And I don't know what to do with that. Oh, bother. Sorry. Maybe we look at that square then. Yeah, okay. That square can't be any high digits. So that has a maximum value of 5. That could be good. So this is 5, 4 or 2 by Sudoku. But there have to be 2 digits. So surely this has to be, or one of these has to be 2, doesn't it? Because if this was a 4, 6 pair, which would be the other thing, you'd have to double 5 this. So one of these is a 2. Please tell me which one. Well, I don't know which one, but there's a 3 in this box. So one of these is 2. The middle value digits then would have to be a 4, 5, and this has to include one of these. One of these has to be 6, and that can't be. That's it. Right. So what I'm saying is, because we can't put 3 in the middle here, although we know one of these is a 2, the middle-y digits must be 4, 5 as a minimum, which means we need at least a 6 in one of the circles to frame it. And this one can't be 6, so that's got to be 6. That's got to be 2. These have got to be a 4, 5 pair again, which is what they were. Now, if that's 2, that's not 2, which means that's 2, and that's all our 2's done. All our circled 2's. Now, yeah, so that's 2 by Sudoku. Yeah. Where is 2 in column 3? It can't go there because we can't put 1 in a circle. It can't go in so it goes there. So 2 is in one of those 2 cells. Let's double click 2s, see if we can see anything better. We could, yes, this. Where is 2 in box 3? It can't go on the line because neither of these can be 1. So 2 has to go there, which means 2 has to go here, which means 2 has to go here. I think we've done all the 2's. All the 2's fall out. Isn't that gorgeous? The answer to that is yes. Yes, it is gorgeous. Right. So now we've got an awful lot. So there's a 6 in one of these squares. These squares here are from 6, 7 and 8. But this, oopsie, 6, 7, 8, that can't be 6 because of this 6. So there's a 6 here. Nah, don't know what that's doing. Don't know. 1, 2, 3. That's a 4 or a 5 by Sudoku because it sees 6, 7, 8, 9. It sees 1, 2, 3 in the column. Okay, here is a subtlety. That digit is a 4 or a 5, and that's by Sudoku, sort of. So look at this column, and you can see that we've put in 1 of 4 and 5 in this column. which means one of these two squares is a 4 or a 5. But that forms a sort of pair, look, with these. So we can ask where the 4 or 5 that's in this domino goes in row 9. Because it can't go in these squares and it can't go in these squares. So it seems to have to go there. So that's 4 or 5. And therefore this is 4 or 5. Because we can't put 4 or 5 there on a between line because there would be nothing between it. So that's 4 or 5 in this row. So we've got a 4-5 pair. We've got a 4-5 pair in column 3. Okay, so right. So that's 4 or 5 by Sudoku, because 4 or 5. There has to be 2 lots of 4 and 5 in this box. So they're there. So that gives me a 4-5 pair here in column 2. So that means I've not placed 3, 6 and 8. So let's pencil mark that up and see if we can do something with that. I think unfortunately that might be struggling to be 3. Because if that is 3, that has to be 4. But that needs to be 4 in the row. Because if that's 3, that's 5 and that's 4. But that needs to be 4 to be between it. So 3 in the column is there. So 3 in box 4 is in the same positions as 1s. Pregnant pause where I try and realise what that's doing. Are we going to have the same problem if I go for 6 there? If I go for 6 there, this has to be 4 to create a gap. That has to be 5 and that has to be 5. Doesn't work. That's got to be 8. So that's 8. That's 6. It doesn't see. 6. 6 is in one of these. 6 is there. So 6 is here now. Oh, that's fine. Okay, that doesn't matter. There's no pressure anymore. Once this is 8, the pressure is off this line. Oh, bother. That is nearly beautiful. So what have we not put in this box? 4, 5s and 7s. So these are from 4, 5 and 7. One of these is a 7. Ah, that 8 is therefore giving me that as a 7. This becomes a 6, 8 pair. And that 7, I don't know what that's doing, but I can now pencil mark those. They have to be 4, 5 and 8, I think, to complete row 1. And I bet that's not going to do anything, is it? Because none of these are sort of... We don't know anything about these digits down here. What about... Okay, let's see if we can pencil mark this box. We need 3s, 5s and 6s into it. So that's 3 or 5, because it sees 6. And that is... I want to say 3... Oh, I don't want to say 3, 5 and 6, but I think it is all... I think all 3 options are on the cards, unfortunately. 8. Maybe we pencil mark these squares then. These are from 3, 6 and 7. So one of these is a 7 actually. Yeah, okay. So where is 7 in column 9? Because it's not there. So it's in one of those two. Now if it was here, that would have to be... Well, that could be 3 or 5 then. Right, don't know really what to do about that. Oh, this isn't 3, because that would need to have a 2 here as well as a 2 here. There we go, that's tiny deduction. So this is 6 or 7. Is that good? This has to be between these 2 digits. Oh, well that's great. Where's 8? Where's 8 in this box? Sorry, that's been available for ages. Where is 8 in box 9? Can't go there, it won't work, so it's got to go there. Which means that I've got, oh, that's a 7 now, and remember these two were different, so that's 8, that's 8, that's 6, oh come on. This is not 8. The 6, does that do anything? No. Probably not. 6 is in one of those two. No, we can do something with that, I think. If we look at this box and our square 6 is, it's vertical. It's in one of these two squares looking at that square. So that's not 6. This is 6. Which means that's not 6. What's this digit then? That's 3 or 7. Well, it can't be 7. Can't be 7 because that can't frame it. So that is 3. That's 7. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. That's 8 by Sudoku. That's 8 in row 1. We've got a 4-5 pair. 4-5 pair in column 7. This is 3. That's 6. That's 5 by Sudoku. This has to be 3 now. And what's going on in the column? We need 3 and 7 into these squares. I'm looking across expectantly and I'm not getting anything. 3 and 7. So if that's 3, that's 4. And that's 5. But if that's 7, that's... Oh, if that's 7, that's 6. That simply won't work. So it's 3, 7, 4, 5, 4. 5, 4. I don't know. That's quite exciting though. 5, 7 and 8. Where's 8 in this row? It's got to go there. So this square is 5 or 7. And I think that's doable. Because of the 7 here. So that's 5. That's 7. That's 4. That's 5. That's 4. That's 4. That's 5. 3 gives me 3 and 1. This row has not had a something in it. That something is a 5. Maybe this box. 3, 5 and 7. So that's a naked single. That's a 3. That's a 5. I'm sort of just hoping this Sudoku is working. I mean, that between line did work there, which is a small cause for a small pause for triumph, isn't it? 9, 1, 1 go into the... So now we've got need 3, 4 and 7. So that should be 7. That's 3, that's 4. That's 4, that's 5. Somehow the puzzle has filled itself in. Well done, puzzle. That might be the solution. 1 hour, 17 minutes. There's only one way to check. Oh, I don't believe it. I did it. That was fantastic. What a fantastic puzzle. Wow. I suspect, you know, that there is a way of intuitively understanding the sort of the sword fit, the yellow cells. This puzzle is a fabulous example of the power of yellow. Because if you can get your head around what has to be in yellow, and I think there might be a way of expressing it that's very clear. But if you can express that succinctly and quickly, once you know, well, once you know 9 is the digit that's not in a circle. It's not enough just to know that, actually. It isn't enough. Because if you did know that, just say at the beginning somebody said to you, 9 is not in a circle. That would be helpful, but it wouldn't be sufficient, would it? Because you'd get a 9 here straight away in box 9. You might get some other 9s as well, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Because you do have to sort of work out what else can go, or what else has to go into yellow. It's an amazing idea. The cogito, take a bow. That's amazing. I'm quite relieved. I mean, it's a short soul for me of a cogito puzzle. I've blazed through it. Thank you so much if you're still watching. I won't have to hopefully record another video, and I am absolutely thrilled to have solved that one. That is, I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's just brilliant. A fascinating and brilliant puzzle from a brilliant mind. Let me know in the comments whether you had a go, and let me know how you got on. I'd be fascinated, especially if somebody has a way of analysing yellow with some sort of beautiful precision, because I think I did analyse it correctly in the end, but I couldn't, you know, I couldn't say in a sentence what I feel might be possible to say in a sentence, if that makes any sense at all. Anyway, we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.